us in this session to think about the different elements of music, and that would be rhythm and melody and harmony and form and tone and expression. And so we're going to talk about each one and find out some things we've already done and some things will be new. And I'll pull out your handouts, so I won't be asking you what you have. Okay. Melody. And you see up on the board, it's the motion skeleton of music. It's the part that you can't get out of your head. You know how those songs are. It can be things that relate to melody, or the four voices, or if things are same or different, slides, high or low, up or down, or the same. So let's just think about what we've done already. We've already talked about the slide whistle, and you know we stood up and down and moved with that. We've talked about moving leaves up and down and moving voices up and down. We've talked about vocal arrows, and I think I showed you this, but I know in one class I didn't, about you can just use yarn on sandpaper and create things like that. But we've done that. We've done the Sol Mi and the bear hunt. All right, things that we want to add to that. Okay, ladders. This was from the very first year of Growing in Grace, and it's just such a good ladder. If it's a good thing that I know I want to keep, I mounted this on cardboard, and because I knew I wanted to keep it. And so it's very useful. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps because it was a song that it went in. For the preschooler, we would add that 6th step. So this is a bird ladder. Came from the pet store. But see, the preschooler, there's your do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. And so it's just good to be able to give them a visual of up and down. So we have those ladders. You can always do elevators. You can draw elevators on the board and let them move up and down. Now, we have the puppets, and I'll show you some puppets that you can wear on your hand. And all kinds of treasures in here. We dig down to the puppets, and here we go. All right. A star, I just staple that out of the fun foam, and it moves twinkle, twinkle, little star. So that, and they can have their own. The easiest one was, I just put that heart inside a baggie, and it can go up and down. Then you want to add the counting bears. Somehow or other, I don't think the bears got here. But the little alphabet, the little counting bears, oh, here they are. Oh, okay. All right. I would pass these bears out to you, and I would tell you, I'll put it in your hand. I'm not going to look to see what color you have. No, but anybody see what color you have. And I've got one for you, and all right, here's one for you. In here, and now, I'm going to say, who has a red bear? Hey, does anybody have a red bear? Sing for me. I have a red bear. Or if we're scattered and it feels like you're on the solo stage alone, let's sing She Has a Red Bear. She has a red bear. Very good. All right. Who has the yellow bear? Oh, I has the yellow bear. Let's sing. She has the yellow bear. Who has the green bear? I have the green bear. Now, let's just say, well, let's see, who did I not call on? Red, yellow, oh. Who has the blue bear? I have the blue bear. Very good. Now, let's go back to that one that, because you may have one that says, I have the blue bear, and we want to bring them to a singing pitch. And so, let's say, let's just try this, and let's all sing, who has the blue bear? I have the blue bear. Now, if that person says, I have the blue bear, then we're going to go down there and sing, I have the blue bear. And so if they can't come to your pitch, we all go to their pitch, like it was planned from the beginning. And then, when we get to the same pitch, then you can say, who has the blue bear? Can you do that? I have the blue bear. And they feel that. Some will do it quickly, some it may take several weeks. But if you can do a little bit of that, not always with bears, but if you can do a little bit of that, high things, low things, and but bears are good because they got 4 colors. Yep. All righty. Y'all kept your secret very well. All right, let's see. So then, here's the scale song. Now, you look at that, well, and the body scale, and the body scale is in this unit right here, and you know that. Then look at the leaf song, and I will give us our starting pitch, once a little leaf, and I bet you can tell how it goes by looking at how it's written. Here we go. Once a little leaf, caught up by the breeze, blew up past the bushes, blew up past the trees, flew up to the blue sky, high above the ground. What happened when the wind stopped? Then a leaf fell down. Okay, so you got a scale song, and but we mentioned earlier that da-da-da-da-da-da, but everybody can sing. That's called the childhood chant. You can do this. Who's wearing blue jeans? I'm wearing blue jeans. Who's wearing flip-flops? I'm wearing flip-flops. And you can just make up your own thing. Question and answer, making it as easy for them as possible. But each of these are little helps in learning melodies. And we've covered what I had up there, all those different things. You're teaching melody. All right, let's move on and teach rhythm. Now that's the pulse of life, it's the driving force of music, it's played within a person. You want to hear it, and you want to feel it, then you want to make it, and then you want to see it. We hear it, we feel it inside, we start moving to it, and eventually we put it before our eyes. What have we done with rhythm today? We did the 4s and the 8s moving. We did Mr. Knickerbocker. We did the stick men. We did the fun phone. Now, we asked about 3s this morning and about moving in 3s. Y'all want to just come and kind of get on your knees. This floor, I just don't like to ask anybody to get on the floor, but we can. All right. I gave up my knees for Vacation Bible School and choir, so you may be the same. All right, now, but this is what I'm coming at. If they want to work with this, and we sang a song a while ago that I said with this, but I'm going to go know how I love Jesus because that's easier to remember. Okay, first of all, before we even touch this, we're going to just up and down. And we're going to move our arms together. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Because he first loved me. Now that really is like 6-8 times. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, but when they're doing that together, then we just hold this. And we'll have to sing slower because it won't move that fast. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. give a feeling of that. And so, and with, I can't even think of a song. Love thee, I love thee, I love thee, I think it's in 3. Love thee, I love thee, I love thee, my. But anyway, that gives the feeling of a slow movement in which then you can hear and feel. Okay, so you can get up. We'll do that. And then, handprint placemats. Okay, you remember those? We have them on our handouts, and we've got the fruit and veggie cards. The leaves that we worked on earlier, you can do rhythms with these. You can do green, yellow, brown, red, and rearrange those. That's rhythm. You can do Legos. Now I see in stores these giant Legos, and they have notches, and you can get one with 4 notches or 2 notches or 1, and you can use those. Again, you can use colors. Here are just things that teach rhythm. Your coffee can lids, you can cut them in 2 and have, and when we've got something like this, we'll just choose like peach, apple. Just think of 1 syllable and 2, are their names, Sue, Johnny, whatever. Very easy to prepare. These are the fun foam colors, just cut apart. Green, yellow, red, green. They spread them out, they arrange them. You give each child a set and let them fix it, and then everybody claps theirs. You can do your stick man. You can have him laying down. He's resting. He's walking. So those pictures that you have, I don't think you have a resting picture, but you can see. You can do that walk, walk, rest, walk. These are just boxes. There's walk, walk, walk. Oh, this could be a fruit. This could be pear, 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 watermelon. But now see what you got here. Let me think what we've got here. We had, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. What do we have over here? We had the 4, 4, 4, 4. We had the fruit. The Legos is 5, and the names is 6. That's 6 different things. That's 6 different weeks work on rhythm. So you don't do everything that one day. Do one thing, and then just make it different the next time. Okay. In case you didn't, we saw all of those. All right. Oops. Okay, why is that going there? I want to show you some kitchen instruments. Did I pass it? Well, doesn't matter, you saw them all this morning. Anyway, in all of our assortment, you know what all those are. It'll come up at the most unlikely place. Okay, we had fun with plates. That tells you the CD that I used, but here in Move, but you, oh, that doesn't tell you that. Let's see if it does. Yeah, that does. Okay, so we've done melody, we've done rhythm. So now let's look at harmony. And you think, oh, well, there's no way I'm going to teach preschoolers harmony. Well, you are, because it says that that's the vertical aspect of music. That is when you stack things on top of each other. So you have there chant. So let's look at our chant. All right, I will recite it, and then you, no, I don't have to do that. I would echo speaking with them first. This is going to tell a story. So you be my echo. There were 2 men.
There were two men.
Each built a house.
Each built a house.
One house would fall,
One house would fall.
one house would last.
One house would last.
Now that house,
Now that house,
built on the rock, on the sand, on the sand,
built on the sand,
strong winds blew,
strong winds blew.
it did not stand.
It did not stand.
But the house,
But the house,
built on the rock,
built on the rocks,
it stood strong
it stood strong
when the storm stopped.
when the storm stopped.
Now, I want you to sway back and forth, like the wind, woo, woo, and just keep swaying. There were two men, each built a house. One house would fall, one house would last. Now that house, built on the sand, strong winds blew, it did not stand. But the house, built on the rock, it stood strong when the storm stopped. Now, you all chant, it did not stand. It did not stand. Just keep saying that over and over. It did not stand.
It did not stand.
I don't hear you.
It did not stand. It
And you
did
said
not
that
stand.
same. All right, I want y'all to
It did
do,
not stand.
they're gonna keep going.
It did not stand.
You're gonna do,
It did not stand.
it stood strong. It stood strong. It stood strong.
It stood
And so
strong.
we layer sounds, we can layer the wind, we can layer that. I would have one chant going while I'm saying the verse, or another chant, not four different chants going at the same time. But that's harmony, because you're putting things together. So that's one you can do. What else? Let me show you this one. This is a page from the Chorister. That's a magazine. I didn't even bring one, but it's a magazine that's published by Chorister's Guild. It comes out 10 months out of the year, or 8 months out of the year. Has reproducible pages, and I just took this one. Several years ago, Susan Ernest took over as the editor for children, and so she always has something in there that we can do. Look at that. It's a rainy, and you got a plop, 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 plop. Here the April showers stop. On the houses, on the ground, on umbrellas big and round, plop, 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 plop. Will the showers ever stop? I did put that in your handouts, didn't I? No, I thought I did. Meant to. Well, okay, but that, at least remember Chorister's Guild, because you might want to look into getting that. And they also, they'll have things for all ages, and they'll also send sample anthems for children's choirs. Okay, but see, what you can do with that is your one beat, your two beats, your rest. It's just like all these other things we've done. It's just a verse. You can find any little poem if it's a very strict rhythm and choose an element, just like the plop or the drop. And I don't know how she used the 1, 2, 3, 4 up there to do it around an umbrella, but you could. All right, then I put on here just to do bell stations, and they didn't get our bells down here, so I'll just have to tell you. Do you have resonator bells in your choirs? Okay. What you would do is, let's say that we put over here, and this would be a small group activity, maybe 6 at the table. I'm going to put the C chord, C, E, G, at this table. 3 children, 3 mallets, 1 bell each. And over here, I'm going to put the G chord, and that's G, B, D, 3 children, 3 mallets. So we're going to do a 2-chord song, like, and we're going to, first of all, we're going to practice playing our bells, and we pretend our hands, our elbows are on a puppet string, and they go plop, plop, plop. Let's just get our hands going, plop. All right, now that's the way we play our bells. Now then, you're all gonna play when I turn to you. So you're getting ready to play, but right now we're gonna start with them. 2-chord song, like Skip to Blue, we could go. Okay, y'all are playing first. Choose your partner, skip to my loo. Choose your partner, skip to my loo. Choose your partner, skip to my loo. Skip to my loo, my darling. You just set up very simple, but and you make your moves very obvious. You can start with just a 1-chord song with 3 playing, and depends on how big your set of resonator bells is. You might could double it, but no. But anyway, and before long, let's just say, can you just tell if I don't turn? Can you tell when you can do the same thing with the auto harp? And most people don't have auto harps, but it's a wonderful instrument. You control the buttons, and the children do the strumming. You're just holding it in your lap, and they are over here in front of you, pulling it toward them. You are, even if they're playing, you're doing this to help them realize the movement. But if we're doing Skip to Baloo, before long, choose your partner, skip to my loo. Choose your partner, skip to my loo. Before long, they'll sense when that needs to change. We're just putting harmony in their ears. So if you do have an auto harp, if you're not using it, it's really a wonderful instrument with children. Your questions and answer songs, who is wearing blue jeans, they can do that. This is a book. It's out of print, but it's tells you start with 1-chord song, you practice that real good, and then you go to 2-chord song. Now, I don't know if you can still do this. I said it was out of print because they have on-demand printing. This came from Lifeway and Children's Music Series. I don't know if they still do on-demand printing, but used to you could call them and ask for a copy, and they would make you a copy. So if you are interested in that, it's worth checking out. Okay, piano. Just let your accompanist say, all right, play the right hand. Yeah, Jesus loves me. Play the left hand. They're not the same, are they? Put them together. So then they're having harmony. You can do what's around. Are you sleeping? All right, sing Are You Sleeping? And the piano is going to chase you. So here you go. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping, Brother John? Brother John, morning bells are ringing, morning bells are ringing, ding dong ding, ding dong ding. Then you can turn it around. Let the piano start first. Here you go. Are you sleeping? Are you? So anyway, you see how that works. And so they can harmony, and that's good. And then the next thing to consider is the source for instruments. Now I'll go and see if I can find them. There they are. I found every one of those instruments in my kitchen closet, I think. And you saw them spread out this way. And anything they're doing, that's where they're playing harmony. Okay, so we're moving on to these 3. Expression and form and tone. Because by now you see that these things overlap. And so let's just think about it. Expression are things that are fast or slow, or loud or soft, and we've talked about both of those. In one, I don't know if it's the one that's fixing to come out, there's one that has an alligator's mouth. That hasn't been out yet, has it? It's gonna be dynamics, and it's put together with Brad, so that it can get louder and it can get softer, and louder and softer, which is your crescendo sign. You've done puppet activities, you've done the cake with expressive voices, you've done finger plays, you've done the loud and soft alphabet. All right, here's loud and soft numbers. You're gonna read this, and if they're big, you're gonna say it loud, and if they're little, you're gonna say it soft. So here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 3, 5, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey, that's a good one to do to make them be quiet. If they've been running around and crazy, do this and they end soft. But just type big and little numbers and stick them together. But always in sets of 8 just fits them better. Okay. Read out. Ask them questions. Oh, yeah. Just talk to them like adults. We sing something. Do you think this should be fast or slow? Do you think it should be, I think that's a very good thing, and I don't ever stop to do that, and help them to understand, to analyze. And then they move to music, and we have that resource list, and we know how to do that. Now, form, we've already done a lot about form. We've done the melody maps, we've done eras. Form is just a shape that's repeated. There was one of the songs that we were singing in our sing-through a while ago, and I thought that's a good illustration of form, because the same phrase, you sang phrase 1, phrase 2, and phrase 3 were alike. I don't know if you noticed that or not. And then it did something else, and then that was repeated. And that's the time where you go back and say, how many times in that song did you hear this phrase? Because that was very obvious in that one. And then the A, B, A. Cards, and I made some giant ones. Oh, here's the alligator. He's already been there. I don't know where he came. This was in the fruit of the Spirit. That's your loud and soft alligator. Okay. If we were to sing Jesus Loves Me, Jesus loves me, this I know. What's the next part? For the Bible tells me. Is that the same, or is it different? Different. So we'll make it that one. What about this one? Little ones to him belong. You know what? Mistake. All right. If you're doing this, don't put the words with it. I forgot and started singing loo, 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 because those would have different words. That would be confusing them. But if you're just singing on loo, then loo, 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 loo. Have we done that one yet? So that's another red one, and then the last one is different. Loo, 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 loo. So that's a way to illustrate that. And then the next thing that I have on there is, I'm trying to follow what you're looking at. Paintbrush phrases. This is to help them with breath and control. And you can do big paint brushes, or you can do, if I'm going to use one, Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Or right, but you can go to the, paint store and buy the little felt, foam rubber on the stick, and everybody can have their own. Could get a battle, but they will move with you. Okay, so that is, you're showing them breath control in form. And then, umbrellas. All right, now we'll do Jesus Loves Me another way. So, how many people do we have? We have a, all right. All right. Y'all have just a lovely umbrella when I ever get it open. Okay, come and take a ribbon. Get out of them. Good. All right, so I'll be this one. Oh, you get to hold too. Good. All right, here we go. We're gonna walk around the same way until we stop to take a breath, and then we're gonna turn around and come back this way. So here we go. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him belong, they are weak, but he is strong. Now, let's do it again, and let's keep walking let's just keep walking, so we can't take a breath. So let's just try to see how far we can go. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. I don't know about you, but I need a breath. So that's why we have to have a breath. And so we put the breath in the song, and it separates the sentences. It makes sense. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. So that's the thought too. And then we've already talked about, you've learned section A, section B, so yeah, you don't have to learn section 3 because you already know it. And your tone was pretty well covered in session 2. But the most thing that you want to remember is this. We said at the beginning, we have all of these little children, and they're here with us. And let me just read a verse. It says, there is a child in my choir who is going to sing. I mean, really sing. I can almost hear it now, that beautiful voice singing praise to God in churches and halls all around the world. I have a child who's going to sing. I have the most wonderful choir. There's a child in my choir who's going to play. I mean, really play. I can almost hear it now, those talented fingers playing praise to God in churches and halls all around the world. I have a child who's going to play. I have the most wonderful choir. But that's not all, because there's a child in my choir who's going to write. I mean, really write. I can almost hear it now, great hymns and anthems pouring onto paper and ascending in praise to God in churches and halls all around the world. I have a child who is going to write. I have the most wonderful choir, a singer, a player, and a writer, and they're all right here in my choir. I wish I knew which ones. We don't know with our little ones what we're going to have. Let's see what else is in this barrel. I think we're about done. If you want, you can buy some little individual phones, like if you'll go to Oriental Trading, little tiny plastic phones, and it's amazing how well they work. But you can make it out of PVC pipe. I won't pass it around because nobody wants to share breath. But have you ever done this? It's amazing, and they can hear their voice. Okay, we have streamers. You uniquely made, embroidery hook. These are plastic tablecloths cut into strips. This is just bent and fastened with a rubber band. This one is fastened with a hair twist. And this one is a result of going to a conference in Florida when my luggage went to Chicago.
Oh, no.
That's when I learned I can do a conference without my stuff. Went to Walmart, we bought paper plates, and the Walmart sack we cut into streamers, and so. Okay. Now, just a little baby puppet or something to pass around if you're doing a pass game. If you're doing a pass in the circle, you know, that's hard for preschoolers. We'll pretend we're in a circle. How are you gonna do it? Okay, we're sitting on the floor. We're gonna say, mine, yours, mine, yours. And we're gonna have to keep doing that for a while. And we say, take, give, take, give, take, give, until finally you put something in their hand that they know they take it, and then they give it. And that's hard to get them to let it go. But you just do it. Don't wear them out. Next 2 or 3 days, come back, do it again, and eventually they'll get that. But something like this is a good little thing to pass around, and eventually you can get 2 or 3 going in the same circle at the same time. This is high-low. There's a picture of a butterfly, a bird, a fish, a flower, a cloud, sunshine. This is something that you can do on the beach ball that's big, but it's very hard to put the beach ball in the suitcase, and I don't have enough wind to blow it up again every time. But you just toss it, and whoops, and if they can catch it, wherever their thumb is, and the thumb is on the water. Would that be high or low? The water, this is low, and you can help them. Is it this is low or this is low? And so then you toss it again. Oh, the bird. Is the bird down low or up high? Probably depends if it landed on the sidewalk or went up to the sky. But anyway, high and low. Okay. This, oh.
She does have it.
Some things I can't really explain. Okay, here's your stop and go sign, and that's just, they can sing a song, and you tell them to stop, and they hold that, remember where they are, and then when you tell them to go, they just keep on singing. That's trickier than you think sometimes, but you can also do it with rhythm activities where they're bouncing or whatever, and you use that to stop and go. These are made out on church fans. You remember what those were? All right, here, what would you be doing this? Say the beat. Clap, 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 clap. And then you got your drum, and then you got your sticks. I like to put things on sticks because it's easy to show. And same thing, here's the 2 fingers, here's on the knees, here's resting, and here's the stomp. And you can tell us do it 8 times, or do it till I change, or I'm gonna watch and see if you're smart enough to change when I change, to keep them focused up front. Here are just a few games. I mentioned the language of music. Let me find a page that will show you the symbols that, these are the ones that I try to somehow make music friends. We got Miss Trevelclef, who's way up high. We got the rest. We've got the staff. That's where music notes live. And let's count and see how many lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. And so if there's 5 lines, look at the spaces between them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I always count from the bottom to the top, just to make them think that. Here's your low. These are neighbors. They live next door. One's on a line, one's on a space. Here is your walking note. Here is your 2-beat note. Here is your great big 4-beat note. And we're going along the fence and we get to the end and we have to stop. Okay. Those same symbols you can do where you have a, look, would those be the same? No. You're going to do same or different. So you've got little cards and big cards. I'm going to hold up this one and see who has the matching card. And they have to think, okay, this one has lines, this one doesn't. But you can make big ones and little ones. You can make many, many, many copies of the little ones and hide them all over the room. And, hide them, obviously, around the room. This is good for early arrival. All right, see who can find some that look like this, and they look, and anybody that can find one that is shaped like this brings it to you. Or you could just not ask for how many. Here is, well, that's just a poster with environmental instruments. So I think that that's all that we pulled out of the bucket. So I'm going to pull in the bucket and get not 1, not 2, but 3, because I've got 3 books over here. And I can give them away. So this is, with everybody gone, Jenny Stubbs, Allison Gaskins, Julie Mariquin, okay. Natalie Whitby. Well, maybe I better let you call names. Catherine Milner. Milner. Oh, isn't that a pretty way to spell that? Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
I like that.
That's Jack. That was my husband's.
Mylnar. Isn't that pretty? I like that. Okay. Would you like this or this?
Yes.
My husband's name was Kerry, Kerry, and so we named our daughter Carol, Kerryl. And so when somebody would ask us her name, we would say Carol, Kerryl. So she thought that was her name. So as a little toddler, if it knows her name, she said, it's Carol, Kerryl. So I guess you've spelled it more than once for somebody.
Oh, yeah, I spell both my names.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, with your Catherine too, but that's more. All right, Susan Hoover. Oh, okay. Becky Sharp. Barbara Anderson. Jan Linda. She was here and she left. Okay. Jenny Sweet.
Okay.
You already got one? Well, okay, well, let's see if I can give this other one away. Stacy Comer. That's Stacy. All right, Stacy.
But we actually,
You have that
we
book
have
already?
it and we did it
Okay.
last year.
All right, Kim Henson and Brenda All right, who doesn't have this book? All right. Would you like to have 2? Do you have one?
I don't.
Well, you do now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. We did good. All right, y'all have been wonderful.